Years later, a group of paranormal investigators decided to explore the church. They had heard the rumors about the haunted church and were eager to see if there was any truth to them. They entered the church, their equipment in hand, and began to explore the dark and foreboding halls. As they made their way through the church, they began to pick up strange readings on their equipment. They heard the sound of chanting coming from the chapel and saw ghostly figures wandering the halls. They approached the altar and saw the figure standing in front of it, its eyes glowing red in the darkness. The investigators were frozen with fear, unsure of what to do. The figure began to move, its movements jerky and unnatural. It turned towards them, and they saw that its face was twisted into a grotesque smile. It lunged towards them, its hands reaching out to grab them. The investigators ran towards the exit, their equipment clattering to the ground. They burst through the door and into the night, gasping for breath. As they turned to look back at the church, they saw that the figure had followed them outside. It stood at the entrance, watching them with its glowing red eyes. The investigators ran as fast as they could, not stopping until they were miles away from the town of Millfield. Once safely out of sight of the horrors they had all just experienced, the investigators stopped at a convenience store to collect their thoughts and gather their wits. They began to start recounting what had just happened, when one member noticed that a key member of their team was missing. Thinking he was probably still in the store or using the restroom, they decided to wait around until he returned. Another 20 minutes goes by, and still no sign of him. They all started getting worried, and eventually began fearing the worst. Their worst fears began to slowly sink in. After a short discussion, they all decided to go back into the convenience store to search for the other investigator, who had seemingly just disappeared. Vanished. After showing a picture of their missing friend to the clerk on a cell phone, the clerk's reaction sends a chill down each and every one of their spines. "I don't remember seeing this guy come in with any of you. Sorry I couldn't be much help." Want to know what happens next? Stay tuned for part 3, only on Terror Tales.